Okay, we're modifying a Rhodes Mark V keyboard a little bit. What happens, and I'll demonstrate, is that the keys in the back, the hammers come back and they hit right here on the corners. See if we can show you here. There's a corner right here, and over time this drops a little lower and it strikes the corner and it gets really loud. So the mod is to shave that corner back so that you don't have it sticking up there. And I'll go ahead and put these in and show you the difference in the sound. It's great working on these because they're really so simple to take care of. Okay, now here's what they sounded like before the mod, and here's after. So every time that hammer comes back, it strikes that wood, and when you're playing it, it's really annoying. Okay, now I'm going to show you how we actually do that mod. And what you have is you have squared off corners, as you can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to shave this back one. We're going to cut away that, make an angle. Now, don't try this at home. My old favorite hunting knife here. It helps to have a sharp knife, and that's trimmed back at an angle, and that's really all you need, because that hammer comes down and strikes, and normally it strikes the corner on the back side, and we're removing the corner, and it just drops about that far so it can't hit anything. So that resolves that issue. It doesn't weaken anything. There's no problems with that. It just gets rid of that annoying sound. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a couple more. Now after this is done, you can see back, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of dirt on the felt. The keys are dirty, they're dusty. If you can look inside here, there's a lot of dust built up inside. This is the front of the key. So we go through and clean all that off, clean all the dust out, wipe it down, wipe the felt down, reduce the points of friction so that the keys move much smoother. I'll do that. I do about 5 or 10 of these, and then I come back and clean them all, and then put them back in place. Now you got to be real careful. You don't want to cut too deep, because this is a really soft wood. It could go through and eventually cause a problem over the years. If I don't feel like I take enough, I just go back and take just a notch off that corner right there. There's plenty, but you always just want to make sure you don't want to come back and have to do it again. This one was done by the last owner. So they had some problems, so apparently they went through and just the keys that were noisy, they cleaned them up, but they left all the rest of them. Now you can also do this with an X-Acto knife or a box cutter, or you can You can use a grinder. That one was already done. This one was already done. This one was not. There we go. So that's that part of it. Now before I put them back, I'll just go through and wipe them down really good, clean everything out, blow this out. You can see a lot of dust in there, and take it from there. Okay, now to wipe these down, the first thing we do is come back here and we blow the dust out of this and wipe it down. And that reduces the friction inside, cleans everything up. Then come back, and this is just the first cleaning of the keys. Clean them all. There's a lot of dust inside the unit, so just come back and clean all the dust off of everything. And then you'll see right here is what actually triggers the hammer. The hammer slides on top of that. And that it collects dust and kind of gummy materials, so you just wipe that down real good. It's on there really solid, so you don't have to worry too much about harming anything. So again, this reduces friction, cleans it up, and then just go on to the next one. Now, some people have asked, what I'm using to clean this with, and all this is a wet washcloth, and not too wet. And keep in mind, see that dirt in there? We're in Nevada, where the air is very dry and very low humidity. So the water, if you don't want to have a lot of liquid on your washcloth, because it'll soak into the wood and it can warp the wood. So it's just lightly damp. We're wiping the surface, getting all the dust off, coming back and cleaning that felt, and just enough liquid to get in there, and just water, no soap, no Windex, nothing like that, and just cleaning it off, wiping it down, and that's basically it. Just clean everything up a little bit. Blow some of the dust out of the pinholes, and that's it. So we come back here, we'll check, see all the dust in there, and the front of the piano tends to collect more dust. There's more space up there, so you get a little bit more on that front pin. The back pins don't seem to have as much, and again, it creates some drag when you're playing. Keys seem a little bit tighter, a little bit firmer, and they're not as easy to press down when you're playing. So this really kind of frees up the action more back to when it was new. And that's really what we're striving for, is to refurbish things and bring them back up to speed. And the best thing is if you've got a player who's been playing for a long time with all of these issues, and then they come back after it's been refurbished and cleaned up, and then they play, then they really, really notice the difference, and they didn't realize how bad it had gotten unless there were some obvious problems that they'd brought it in for repair for.